Hey guys, it's Liz from Blue and Hazel. Welcome to my homeschool YouTube channel. Today's video I want to show you what we are using for homeschool curriculum for my 5th grader. He is my oldest and we have been now homeschooling him for 6 years. And so today I will just kind of walk you through each of the different subjects that we're doing, the books that we're using for it, kind of the extra stuff, and what we are changing from last year. So if you've been following along, you know that we have been using Ambleside Online last year for his 4th grade year. And we were brand new to doing a Charlotte Mason kind of homeschool curriculum. And so if you are new to that, be sure to check out my Ambleside Online playlist. I've got a lot of videos just sharing how we set stuff up, how it went our first year, how it went our first few weeks. And so this year we're continuing on with that. So what that looks like for him in 5th grade this year is that he will be reading books from this Ambleside Online book list. And I will probably do a video of each of these books more in depth if you want to know exactly what is on the 5th grade list for Ambleside Online. But this year we'll be going through term 1, these books here, term 2, these books here, and then term 3 are these books right here, and they've got them all divvied up into weeks. So I can tell exactly which chapters of which books we should be reading book by book. I didn't have to do any of that planning. They post it on their website for free. Let me go ahead and show you what the Ambleside Online books are that we're going to be reading this year. A couple of them we're going to be doing on audio, and we may end up doing a few of them combined family style with my 4th grader this year. I'm not completely set on which books that we are going to combine, but as far as what's on the list, let me just show you what we are doing here. Then we'll cover what we're doing for language arts in math and some of the extras. Okay guys, let's go ahead and dive into the history books that we're going to be using first. And just for the sake of time, I'm not going to go into depth of any of these books, but I just will show you what they are and show you the titles here. So this is kind of his stack, and he won't read all of them at the same time. Some of them will be in different terms, and then others will be throughout the whole year. And so first book up on the list is George Washington Carver, Man's Slave Becomes God's Scientist. Then we have Abraham Lincoln's World, and I think this is going to be similar to George Washington's World we read last year. And this is a great kind of short little chapters on different people and events happening at the same time as we're reading about. Here we have Always Inventing, which is a very short picture-heavy book on Alexander Graham Bell. We also have Of Courage Undaunted, Across the Continent with Lewis and Clark. Carry a Big Stick, The Uncommon Heroism of Theodore Roosevelt. So Answering the Cry for Freedom is a book that Ambleside schedules across multiple years, and you just read a few stories and a few people each year. And so that'll be similar to this one. It's a thicker book, but we won't be covering very much this year. So keep that in mind. Then we have This Country of Ours, and this one is really the spine of, you know, the major events in the United States and the time period we're covering. I got the new edited version by Donna Jean Breckenridge. She's an Ambleside Online member. There is an audiobook of this older version, so if my son is struggling with having too much to read, I may end up sticking him on an audiobook version of it. I just don't know how we'll be doing with it yet. And then the last history book we have scheduled, and I think this is term 3 for us, is Story of the World. And this is going to be volume 4, The Modern Age. Now, for year 5, we are not going to be reading this whole thing. He's going to be reading about the first half. And so there's an audio version of this as well. I may end up getting that for him just to lighten his reading load. Okay, so that should be all for history. All right, so for geography, they have scheduled these 2 Marvels books, and I'm really excited for him to go through these. I've heard awesome things about these, and I've heard that these are some of the highlights of an Ambleside Online 5th grade year. These are the other 2 geography books that Ambleside Online has recommended. They don't schedule them out for you. They just kind of give you the chapters within the term to read. There's like maybe 2 chapters for the 12-week term. And so you pick when you want to read them, cover it, and then move on. So I think these are really light. Then as far as what we do when the kids are reading these stories, generally speaking, I keep a world map and a US map just really close by. And so if there's ever a spot in any one of our books that the kids are reading, it's really, really helpful to go ahead and try to find it on the map, and so that they can see where in the world this is taking place, or if it mentions a river or a country or something, you can just go find where it is. And so that's going to be a huge way in our homeschool that they're going to be learning geography and just where things are at. So Ambleside Online has a variety of science topics for 5th grade. One new to us book and new to us topic would be Exploring Creation with Human Anatomy and Physiology. So this book is by Jeannie Fulbright, and this is scheduled out on the Ambleside Online schedule, so we will just try to follow along. We will be continuing on with Madam How and Lady Why, so 4th grade covered about half. 5th grade is going to cover the other half. We will be doing this on the Yodo Mini. I just made a little card so he can listen to those. Next we have Great Inventors and Their Inventions, and I'm hoping this will be a really fun read, just highlighting some major inventions along the years that we were looking at and who invented them. Last up on the Ambleside science list, we have Wild Animals I Have Known. This covers a bunch of different animals, I think, and I'm not super familiar with the book, but we will be trying that one out. Okay, so now for our literature for 5th grade. There are some really good books scheduled, and I'm unsure of if I want my 5th grader to do these all on his own, or if I want to do maybe a couple of them family style, so that my 4th grade can listen in. I feel like she would catch some of these books, but I just don't know exactly how I want to combine them yet. So these are the ones listed for 5th grade though. We have The Story of King Arthur and His Knights, and this one looks so good to me. I think this might have to be a read aloud because I know I am gonna wanna read this with him and enjoy this. I think this year I'm not gonna have my kids narrate the literature reads. I'm just going to let them enjoy reading these, and we will narrate our other books. And then for term 2, the literature pick is Oliver Twist. I think we're gonna do this one together on audio. I've never read the book, and I've also heard it has some more sensitive content in it that just would be better to discuss together if you can know what they're listening to. And then term 3, they have scheduled Kim by Rudyard Kipling, and so we'll be listening to that on audiobook as well. All right, so for math, what we are using this year that's different is we are switching from Singapore Primary 2022 to Math Mammoth, and I will probably do a full video on why we're switching. I don't want to go into all of that right here, but we had a really, really rough end of the year in 4th grade math, and it was tearing us apart. It was just really terrible, and I never thought I'd switch. He's been using that since 1st grade, but it just got really hard, and it became a major issue in our homeschool and a joy destroyer of our homeschool. And so I just thought, I've got to find something else that is working for him if this isn't working for him. And I just felt like I wasn't able to teach him like I probably needed to for the way that it's taught. So the teacher's guide was not super helpful for me. I did try to get the videos from one of the creators of Primary 2022, Jessica Kaminsky, makes awesome video library. But I just don't think it just wasn't working for him. From what I've heard, this is a pretty comparable math book to Singapore Math, where it is a little bit above grade level. It is going to be teaching them how to think. It's teaching them the concepts behind the math, not just how to do math. And so it seemed like it would be a good switch for us to try. I really, really liked the inside of here. There are clear instructions on how to do the math. There's examples listed on the page of how to do the math, and he's been doing math actually out of this every day this summer. You'll notice that I got grade 4 again, and that's because I think we just need to go back over some of the stuff that we covered in Singapore. The scope and sequence is different here, and also we just didn't nail it. Like, we didn't get everything down like we should. So instead of starting too hard and being frustrated, I knew it would be better to go back and review some of the things we already knew while learning this new style, and then he can continue on trying to be a little bit more independent in his math. So far, it's been working well. I've been really asking, like, how's it going? Are you, Are you finding this better than Singapore? Is it more enjoyable to like teach yourself? He's gone through a pretty significant portion of book A for year 4 just over the summer. So we'll continue on, you know, to book B, and then if we enter the beginning book of year 5 for Math Mammoth, maybe at the end of the year, we'll see how far we get. But I just know this is important to really get this stuff and not skip ahead for the sake of, you know, what level we're in. Okay, so as far as language arts goes, we're making a couple changes. I really thought last year that I could swing doing Brave Writer, darts, and arrows again, and maybe someday I will try again. I don't know, it just didn't work. I think we had too many books that we were reading with Ambleside Online to add in another read aloud book that we were doing our grammar out of. And so it just felt like I can't read one more book is kind of how I was feeling last year. And so we just really did one last year, and that's all. And so this year, what I'm gonna try out actually is setting our Brave Writer darts and arrows aside for now, as much as I loved them when we did them. And I have lots of videos on those. You're welcome to check out my Brave Writer playlist. I will link that in the description for you. But this year we're gonna try out Fix It Grammar Level 1, and it looks like this, Nose Tree. And so the kids are going to, we'll be doing this, I don't know how often we'll do this, if we'll do this a few times a week. I'm not stressed about doing this every single day, though I know a lot of families will do this once a day because it's literally one sentence a day. So they're going to learn some kind of grammar from the teacher's guide. They get to mark some of the things in the sentence and fix some of the things in the sentence, and then they rewrite it. And so the next day, they'll have new things that they're learning to mark and fix and then rewrite the correct way. And so I think it seems simple enough that it's not gonna be a time crunch issue. They could probably do this pretty quickly every day. What I don't know is if this will be part of our copywork or if this will be separate from our copywork, because we've been doing 10 minutes of copywork from a Bible verse or a poem every day. And so I don't know yet if we'll do this you know, every other day with copywork, or if we'll do this plus copywork. I don't know yet. So then I also got this cute book. We've read a couple of chapters in it, and this is called Grammarland. It's highly recommended in the Charlotte Mason circles, and it is such a cute book so far. I'm thinking maybe we'll read like a chapter a month and just kind of go over it. It's going over the different parts of speech. So it's a clever little story where all of these parts of speech want to claim all the words in the world, and so they're going over in front of a judge, trying to give their reason why they should get to claim these words. And so it's just a very cute story to help you to remember some of those different parts of speech. So for spelling, we've done all about spelling in the past, levels 1 and 2. This year I got him level 3, and I got their new version, which is in color. It's also a little different because it has this student guide, and I wanted to try it, although we are not like busy work people, and there is a little bit of busy work like in this. I'm kind of curious to see what we'll think about it, or if we'll go back to their older version for level 4 without this student workbook that has these extras in it. So I'll keep you posted on that, but this year we got this for him to try. This is his spelling box with his cards to work on, and I don't know how often we'll do this. I'll probably aim to just get this level done this year, and so we can go very slowly. Like, you know, doing a lesson a week should be fine for us. I don't know if we'll go faster than that or slower than that, but spelling for me is something that is just, you know, helpful as he's writing more, and he's naturally a pretty good speller, so it's been a pretty easy program to follow so far. And then I also got a composition book for him, and this one right now we are just planning to put in his copywork inside of, and his written narrations that he'll do once a week in for, so once a week instead of doing an oral narration, he can pick a book to do a written narration in here. And I have a video on how we started that last year if you want to hear more. But I think we're just going to do anything written in this book, and if we end up taking, you know, the whole book, then I'll get another one. But I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible rather than having all of these different notebooks for different reasons. So he'll do his spelling in here as well. They do dictation where he has to write down sentences that I read out loud. He has to spell out some of the new words, and I'm just gonna have him do all of this in one book. So last but not least, some of the fun stuff we're gonna do as a family that will be part of his 5th grade year, but not his responsibility independently, is going to be poetry. We'll do that in our morning time. So I just read one poem a day. I just bought one of Ambleside Online's poetry anthologies, and we just kind of read through 1 to 2 of those a day. In addition to poetry, we're gonna be doing picture study together. I love these ones from Simply Charlotte Mason. We've used a couple of them this last year, and I bought a bundle on eBay, so we'll be doing some more of them with the kids this year. And just once a week, we take out one of their pictures and look at it, notice what we notice, and then I hang it on the wall in the bathroom where everybody can see it. So these are nice and sturdy and beautiful, and I just highly recommend their materials for art study. Okay, and then as a family this year for nature study, I got the kids each a journal that I really want to do like a flower pressing, plant pressing journal, if that makes sense. And so as we do this, I will kind of show you how it turns out, but basically I want us to start pressing some different plants that we are finding out in just our local area. And then once they're pressed, being able to put them into this booklet where we can label what it is, you know, some parts of it, where we found it, the date we got it, and just start to have this collection of really neat plants that they can start to know the names of. So that's kind of my goal for our nature study this year. I have an aunt that did this with her homeschool students, and I just think it's so cool. And so we also have Exploring Nature with Children. I think I'm gonna loosely follow this, maybe picking a topic a month. I don't think I'm gonna follow it how it's written, although we have before and I loved it. There are awesome picture books in here that I wanna try to find for my littler ones. But as far as my older kids, we'll probably pick a topic a month, dive into that a little bit more using some of their resources in there because they're great. And then maybe get some, you know, extra material on that if we want to, if we're interested. But I want it to be very interest-led this year. And I really want to see how we can make those pressed plant books happen this year. I just think that would be an awesome project along the year. And one other project that's going to be fun this year that will be part of his 5th grade, I just made this out of our printer paper and our hole puncher, which I can link in the description for you if you want to make this. It's very easy. We are gonna do a 5th grade About Me booklet. And so this has 13 pages in here. And then we're gonna start with an About Me page on the inside, you know, just what you like to do, how old you are, what you wanna be when you grow up, what you like to read, you know, just kind of some facts about you. And then each month, I wanna go ahead and have the kids fill out a memory from that month, something that they can draw a picture of and write a small paragraph about what they did. We did this 2 years ago and it is a treasure. Like, I think we need to do this every year. So I have from that particular year when we did it, I have a bunch of things that they remember, and each of the kids' things are different. Some of them, you know, did basketball or, you know, learning how to ski, and just all of these different things that were special. And they have hand drawings and a little paragraph about what they did that they liked. And so we'll do this once a month for 5th grade. I'm excited to see what ends up in these pages. One other thing that we'll be doing for history, and I have a video on how I made this, the kids will be adding once a week some event or person onto their history timelines. We did this last year, not every single week, but several of the weeks. And I just thought it was a cool project, and it's a great way to put all of these different people and places that you're learning about into a physical line to see what happened when. And so it's really easy to do. It's free. You can just need printer paper and tape, and that's a way for them to make all of these connections throughout these different books that they're reading over different years. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. This will be a really fun 5th grade year. I'm looking forward to it, and if you have any questions about Ambleside Online, be sure to check out my Ambleside Online playlist in the description. I'm happy to answer any questions you have in the comments as well. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see every time that I upload new videos.